Welcome to Galaxy of Comics, brought to you by Star Wars, Marvel, and more. If you like comics, games, both board and video, or anything geek culture streaming on TV and on the big screen, then you came to the right place. Stay tuned for part 1 of a mystery box that I opened up after 22 years. Next in 3, 2, 1. Hey there, comic book brothers and sisters. This is Galaxy of Comics, brought to you by Star Wars, Marvel, and more. I'm your guide, Dave. Join me as I trek across this big comic book universe. Our next stop is me talking about a box of comics I collected 22 years ago and has been stored away in a closet. Before we do, though, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I want you to be part of my comic book journey. Now let's get started. Now just a review. I want to get Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 300 as my personal grail to get my comic book pumping. That's the comic I want to go get. I want a bunch of different Amazing Spider-Man comics, but that is the one I want to shoot for first. Come join me on my journey as I do that. My first step was finding this box that I had hidden away. Thank you, honey, for going to go find it. My wife stepped up, found this box of mine. It's got like 100 comics into it. I had a few loose, but this is the comic book haul that I had already in my closet in the apartment. So that's what I'm going to look at today. Now the funny thing is, when I did this, I decided to join Instagram right away. So the comics I'm about to show you, I post on Instagram, and within a day, someone says, "You selling those?" I'm like, yeah, why not? So what I'm going to do, I don't have these comics anymore. They're in California now. Thank you, sir, for buying those comics from me. Gave 'em a fair deal. There weren't the greatest comics in the world, but hey, I love looking at art. I love looking at colors. I'm gonna personally rate the covers. This is the first time I did it. I'm doing it like live on air with you right now of these Amazing Spider-Man comics. Now, just so you know, my social media is up on my social media. Purple Hulk here. That is my mascot of my show. At my Galaxy of Comics on Instagram. TikTok is Star Wars, Marvel, and more, and Twitter is Star Wars, Marvel, and more. I do not have a Facebook channel for this one. Mainly it's YouTube. Make sure you keep following me, Star Wars, Marvel, and more. I appreciate it. Now let's get started. Let's put up the first comic. And this is ASM 49. I believe it's from the second run of Amazing Spider-Man. Now, looking at this comic, I like the concept. Now, one of the things I noticed back 22 years ago was like, yeah, the art's different. I don't necessarily like this as much. Look at these skinny ass legs, right? It's black and he just got this like odd looking spider on his back. So I'm not a big fan of this art. I like the aesthetics of it. I love the trade dress. That's one thing. I love the Amazing Spider-Man trade dress. But other than that, I wasn't impressed with this one. I'm gonna give it a C. I don't know what you guys think. Tell me below. Amazing Spider-Man number 49. Give me a B, C, D, or add a plus or a minus to it. ASM 49. Now I'm counting down on these. This one's ASM 47. Now, I like the fact he's the bird, the pigeons. It's New York City. It just screams New York. Glass building in the background. He's upside down shooting a web. I really like this idea. Again, his trade dress is amazing. He's a lot more thicker, muscular. Really really cartoonish. It's kind of oddly muscular. But it's well done. I'm gonna give this cover. I'm gonna give it a B minus. It's a little too light. I like a little more action, villains or some seriousness, let's say, some pending doom about to happen. So this I give a B minus. That's ASM 47. Tell me the grade below what you would give the cover of ASM 47. ASM 46. This I like. I really like this. He got a spotlight on him. He looks like he's about to jump into action. The shadows, it's a little off because he's got shadows on his thighs, but this chest is completely lit up. So I don't know if they did a whole good job on how this, he's the shadows behind him, but he's got shadows on his thighs. So they don't make a whole lot of sense. But I like the Public Menace, Daily Bugle, Reward. I like that. It brings back a lot of Jonah Jameson memories. Trade dress, amazing. It shouts New York. The spotlight, it's like is a helicopter shining on him, that kind of thing. So I really like it. Outside of the shadows are odd on his thighs, so I'm gonna give this one a B. I'm stepping it up. It's a B. I like how he's drawn. I really do. He's defying the gravity a little bit, but I like how he was drawn. ASM 46, this is ASM 45. There's nothing I like about this. I do like Spider-Man's face, maybe his eyes are good. His arms are extremely long looking. I don't like this guy's got shotgun shells. What kind of, I don't know the story behind this, but anyways, this is an absolute awful cover. Absolute awful color. I give this, I feel bad. I can't draw this well, right? But hey, I'm doing this for fun. I I apologize. I don't keep them all artists or the writers. This is from 22 years ago. As I said in my previous videos, I am getting back into this, bringing back my childhood with adult money, and this is what I did. I tried to redo it 22 years ago, and I've waited this long to open up and find this cover that awful. Amazing Spider-Man 46. I'm gonna give it a D. I'll be fair. I'll give it a D because I like there's action, but guy with a shotgun, whatever. Just doesn't look like in his long ass arms. I don't know. Here we go. So ASM 44. So I like it's dark, right? I like that, he's got some bad guys here. It's really weird with the bright teeth and stuff. I don't know what's going on in this picture. I like he's hanging upside down. That's a fun part of him. It's really weird because I guess his head is bent all the way back so you can see his eyes. Again, he's weirdly drawn. He's symmetrical. Really symmetrical here. Not asymmetrical, but symmetrical. I'm not a big fan of the back of the spider suit. I think it's poorly designed. I'm gonna get this. Although I like the darkness of it, I'm not impressed at how the spider webs are drawn, and it's a C minus. It's a C minus. I'm not happy with this cover. All right, this is Amazing Spider-Man 42. Oh yeah, and make sure below tell me Amazing Spider-Man 46, 45. Tell me what grade you gave them. ASM 42. I love the red. I love the web. I don't particularly like how he is drawn. I like the turmoil, the people. It's really artsy. It's really dark. I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it a B. I just don't like the way Spider-Man is drawn. He's like has no elbow. It's like a action figure. You know how like they just don't have an elbow? I don't like this artistic impression of at this time period. I don't, unfortunately. I'm gonna get 42. Tell me what you think. Now, this is pretty cool. I do not like I do not like text boxes. I don't on covers. I want art, and I don't know. They're bringing it from the way past where they have like actual conversations, and then they cover it up. It's like cover up the trade dress. Um, Spider-Man is made muscular because of these shadows. I think it's better well drawn. I like him thicker. He looks like a linebacker in this photo, this picture, honestly. But his calves are oddly so much bigger than his ankles. Just it's so odd. Um, I'm gonna give it a C plus only because of the oddly drawn body of Spider-Man and the text boxes, the text bubbles. I'm not happy with that. Although it does look like they're about to fight, I'm really into that. So hey, tell me what you think about ASM 42 below. And here's ASM 41. Now there's a lot to like about this. It's he's on a lamp. The crowd's below him looking up at him. He's he's balanced. There's no real crazy. He's just got skinny arms though, man. He's got these big ass shoulders and these skinny tiny arms. But I like the thought process behind this. He does pop out. He's the center of attention. I love when you do that with the main character. It's maybe make it a little more zoom in a little bit. And then he is in the shadow. There is no light shining on him. So where's the light coming from? That's the kind of thing you gotta worry about. I don't know if this artist was thinking that, hey, where's the light coming from? Okay, it's come from here. This apparently is coming straight above him, and then his legs are shadows. I don't know. I'm gonna give this a B minus. I think it's better than some of the others. I like the idea behind it. The people, there's absolutely no detail to them, so I'm not impressed with that. It's like it's like a Pixar movie where you just pencil in some people just for crowd. This is that's what this looks like. Give it a B minus. That was 40. So here's this one. This looks photorealistic, but what's with Spider-Man's nose? He actually looks more like Deadpool, doesn't he? With the but except with webs, he looks more like Deadpool in this. I don't. Enough said. I know I've seen that on other Amazing Spider-Mans, but I just don't like this one. He looks like Deadpool. He also has a funky nose. I do love the trade dress and then the Viking, or not, sorry, the Spider-Man coming out of the bubble. I love that. That's really good. I'm not going to be too hard on this one. This is ASM 39. Tell me what you think below. There's some things I like about it. I'm going to give it a C plus. I'll give it a C plus. Tell me what you think. ASM 39. Tell me below. Number 38. I like this one, except why is his head so thin? I don't know. I don't understand the concept they were going with of really making it like they didn't fully commit to a particular style, and they just said, okay, let's make him abnormal in some areas, but only in some covers. It's like, I don't know, no consistency, but I love him coming at you. He's the center of attention. Maybe lighten it up a little bit so he pops. I love the background. I see the street lamps, everything. It's really nice. I'm gonna give this a B. I'm gonna give this a B. I like this. I would have bought this and been excited about it 22 years ago. Um, so that's ASM 38. Tell me what you think below. This is ASM 37. Go figure that they would actually get or do a cover of what the Spider-Man would end up looking like in the movies. This is Tom Holland, man. This looks like Tom Holland. That's a good job. It's well done. It's pretty. photorealistic. They didn't go crazy. I guess the coloring is on his elbows is what makes his arms look so freaking weird. So I gotta subtract points for that. This mask looks terrible. His face is really well drawn, his hair, all that, really good. I like it's dark. I like he's the only person. There's negative space here. Um, could have been something more centered, maybe. I don't know. I do like this photo or photorealistic look. I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it a B. I'm not happy with the art in this run. Um, so I would like something more cartoonish, but something also I like something more realistic, but not in between. Fully commit one way or the other. So Amazing Spider-Man 37, go give me a grade below on what you think. Now, I did get this 22 years ago. I was probably looking in their back issues. I get this ASM 296. I thought, hey, Doc Ock, that's one of his main characters. There's an actual first appearance, I think. Yeah, let me see if I got that. There's like a Spider Cop, I think, is like the first appearance. Technically in a dream of Doc Ock. So it's a very, very minor key, like $3 comic book. So that's this. It's so close to the McFarlane run. You can tell now why they went with McFarlane the way this is. Doc Ock looks fat, and short, and what is this supposed to be? Um, I don't know the story. Maybe but it's just odd to be on the cover. This is not a good cover, not at all. I'm gonna give it a D plus, a D plus. I like the webbing. I like the trade dress, dark Spider-Man or black suit Spider-Man, but the rest of it's not good. I probably was too kind on this. This one, however, is intriguing. I love the red; it pops. I love the photo negative Spider-Man. It's pretty cool. And then the old style, you do have text boxes, but these makes more sense. And they have the Syndicate, I guess. Is that Rhino? So you got all these characters. So I like it. I do. Um, Now there was back here. I'm gonna give this one a B plus. I like the red. Everything pops out. So this is by far, not by far, but I gave a couple B's, but this is my favorite of covers. I almost should have kept it. I probably should have. Now, let me go back here. So there was a key. Oh, here it is. So this key. So I sold all of them, but when I found this one, I liked the cover. And two, I later found out it was a key. It's the first appearance of Luke Carlisle, Dr. Octopus. It's a ASM 43. I love the cover, man. Now, it's more cartoonish though, and so is the lighting. So everything is cartoonish. And I think they fully committed here. It's dark. It's got the city that there's different levels. He's on a ledge. There's lightning in the background. You can see the rain bubbling off of him. Now that's really cartoonish. You could tell, but it was a style, and they fully committed to it. It's centered. It pops out. I love this cover, and because I did that, because I loved it, that is why I kept it for myself. I thought this is a great cover, and it's a first appearance of Luke Carlisle, Doctor Octopus. Um, there was another key. Let me pull it here. This was another key, and I should have kept this one, but I didn't. First appearance of Shothra, a spider wasp from the astral plane. But I didn't think it was going to ever amount to anything, and I figured it was an issue. If I ever decide I want to do a Spider-Man run, I could go back and get. But that Spider-Man 43, by far my favorite cover. I am going to give this an A minus just because maybe it's not fully what I like as art, but it committed and is A material. I love this cover. That's it for today. This is Galaxy of Comics, brought to you by Star Wars, Marvel, and more. I'm still getting used to this. Thank you for listening. Thank you. This is part one of a box I opened up from 22 years ago, and I sold all these to one guy, sent them to California. This is the only one I have left. It's the first time ever selling. Well, it's not the first time I saw a comic book, but first time in almost 30 years I sold a comic book. This is how I'm doing it. I'm on Instagram. Let me plug my social media Hulk. My Galaxy of Comics. I'm almost at 1,000 followers. Stick with me on my journey to get ASM 300. Thank you for being a part of my journey. I love you. Let's get going. Cue the music.